Amen. Thank you very much. Here are the notes for tonight's class. The title of our class is Taming the Tongue. Taming the Tongue. And we are just looking at various activities that the tongue can participate in that aren't very healthy and that need to be tamed. Is the tongue, and this is kind of a trick question, so be careful, is the tongue something that can be tamed? We talked about that in Lesson 1 when we went through James. Is the tongue something that can be tamed? Man, y'all are tough. Okay? It's a yes and no question, isn't it? Okay? Each one of us individually have the ability to bridle the tongue. And guys, if we can't do that, then none of us can become a perfect man. Isn't that what James says? Okay, only by bridling the tongue can you become a perfect man, a full-grown man, a man of maturity. So if we cannot bridle the tongue, then the desire to be full-grown can never be obtained. Okay, so each one of us as individuals can tame the tongue. But the tongue can only be tamed by each individual, isn't that right? There will never be a time when we will, as a whole, domesticate the tongue. Every individual, every generation has to do what? Tame the tongue. So James says the tongue is something that no man can what? Can tame. Okay? Every individual, every generation is going to have to fight this battle of taming the tongue. And is it an easy battle to win? I heard one no. Okay? If we were all honest, we would all just holler out what? No! It's not easy. Okay? Every one of us could stand right up here and tell about some embarrassing time, some angry time, whatever it is, that we have used our tongue in an inappropriate way. Okay? And in almost every one of the areas that we're going to talk about. Okay? Okay? Cursing, there's very few individuals on this planet who have never, ever said one cuss word. Very few. Okay? And tonight our topic is, well, notice the title, Stretching the Truth a Little. Okay? Isn't it funny how we like to couch sin in nice language? I didn't lie. I just stretched the truth a little. Okay, that sounds so sweet, doesn't it? Okay, and that's the reason that I chose that title. One of the saddest stories in Scripture to me, okay, is found in 1 Kings, the 13th chapter. An unknown prophet, just known as a man of God, was sent to Jeroboam. He was the king of the northern tribes. And Jeroboam had built an altar in Dan and in Bethel so that the children of Israel did not have to go to Jerusalem to worship. He was scared that if they did, they would return and unite again with the southern kingdom, and he didn't want that. So he developed new altars, he developed a new priesthood, he developed a new day of atonement. Instead of the 7th month, 10th day, he changed it to the 8th month, 10th day, and he did everything he could to keep his nation to himself. So this man of God is sent to prophesy against Jeroboam. And God tells this prophet, when you get up there and you're ready to leave, don't you dare eat bread, don't you dare drink water, and don't you go back home the same way that you went there. Okay? Pretty easy instructions, right? So the man of God is leaving, and this older prophet hears that he's already left. So he says, go get me my donkey, and off he goes. And he catches the young prophet before he gets out of the country. And what does he tell him? Anybody remember? First thing he reminds him of is this: I too am a prophet. Okay? I'm a prophet too. And guess what? He was. Okay? Second thing he says, An angel of the Lord has appeared unto me. Okay? Did the prophets receive their messages in many unique and different ways? Yeah, they received their messages in many different ways, through dreams, through direct conversation with God, through the angel of God coming and speaking to them. So there was many ways that they received their messages. And he tells the younger prophet, this angel has told me to bring you back to my house and to give you bread and to give you water. And the key verse in the text ends with these words, but he lied to him. Man. But he lied to him. Now, the younger prophet finishes his meal, gets on his horse, goes in the way, and guess what? Before he gets home, he is eaten by a lion. And what was interesting is as individuals passed by, they would see the dead prophet having been slain by a lion, and guess what? Two animals were still there at the scene. The donkey and the lion. Is that kind of weird? You know, you would think a donkey sees a lion, he'd be scared. A lion sees a donkey, he'd say, food. And yet they were both just standing there, and there's the dead prophet, showing that lion had been sent on a particular mission, hadn't he, to destroy the prophet of God. Now I said that to me, this is one of the saddest stories in the Bible. Okay? God took this very seriously, didn't he? This is a judgment of God against this younger prophet. But the reason I say it's sad is because, number one, the older prophet was just that, older. Do young people try, or at least should they try, to have respect and reverence and awe for older individuals? You should have that, okay? And so, you know, if this older man approaches you and he wants to talk to you, you know, at least you're going to stop and give him ear and think, well, okay, you know, I need to listen to what he has to say. And not only that, he is a what? He's a prophet. Okay, there's no doubt about it. He holds the prophetic office. So it would be very easy to deceive this young prophet, right? An older man, the office of a prophet, tells him, hey, God spoke to me through the angel of the Lord. And this young prophet just what? Just believes him. And guys, all he does is goes back and eats a meal. That's all he does. Terrible, horrible action. And yet, he leaves and he's slain by a lion. Just sad to me. But it was all due to a what? Due to a lie. All due to a lie. It shows us how evil lies can be. Kevin?
Same thing's going to happen on Judgment Day. A lot of people nowadays believe lies. They're in for a rude awakening on Judgment Day.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So tonight we want to talk about blasphemy. No, I'm kidding. We're going to talk about lying, okay? And we're just going to go and we're going to see what the Bible has to say about this particular subject. And I want to begin with a very interesting section entitled The Definition of a Lie, okay? Now, you would think this ought to be the easiest thing to define, right? And when you get into it and you start studying the definition of a lie, you find that there's some key factors that people tend to focus in on. And so I want to try to cover all those elements of a lie. Notice a simple definition of a lie is this: anything that opposes truth. Now guys, you can't get much simpler than that. Okay? Now, I don't know if you'll find that definition at dictionary.com or in Webster's or whatever. I just came up with that definition. Okay? But a lie is anything that opposes truth. Okay? And what's interesting is as you go and look at definitions, what you find is there are three things that individuals center in on as they attempt to define the word lie. The first involves information. Okay? The second word is the word intent. And the third word is the word knowledge. Okay? So let's talk about those three concepts and how they tie into this idea of lying, okay? And we're going to stick with that little simple definition, though. A lie is what? Anything that opposes truth, okay? All right, let's look at this, okay? Number one, a lie can occur when certain information is revealed, right? That's the way a lie occurs. Certain information is given to an individual, right? And the information can be found in a lot of different false forms, okay? First, information that violates the truth. The old prophet said, "An angel of the Lord told me." Violated the truth. Okay? Angel of the Lord didn't tell him that. Angel of the Lord would have affirmed exactly what God had already commanded, right? And see, that's where the younger prophet failed. What he should have immediately done is consulted who? And consulted God. He had the ability to. God, here's this man, he tells me I can stay. Can I stay? Or do you want me to go on home and not eat here? God would have told him. He didn't do that. And that's where the young prophet failed. Okay? But see, this older prophet gave this information that violated truth. Notice secondly, when we give information, we can give incomplete information, can't we? Incomplete information. And then thirdly, we can have a mistake in the facts, can't we? So those are all the different ways that false information can be disseminated to another person. I just intentionally violate the truth, right? I don't give all the facts, or I am mistaken in the facts and reveal them in their mistaken category. Okay? Now that leads to the second word, intent. Okay? Intent. There were two definitions that I read of a lie, and I want you to listen to them. A statement that the stating party believes to be false and that is made with the intent to deceive. Hear that word? It's made with the intent to deceive. Now, my question to the individual who gave this definition is this: what if I gave false information, but I didn't intend to deceive? You see, he makes it sound as though the only way you can lie is if you what? Intend to. Okay, notice the next definition. Something known to be false. Okay, you know it's false. So in other words, I know it's false, and I intend to tell you this. And they say that's the definition of a lie. Well, those are definitions of a lie, but I want you to look at the rest of it. Not all lies are what? Intentional. You know that? Not all lies are intentional. Isn't that true? There can be false statements, but the person telling the lie never intended to what? Never intended to deceive. But it's still a what? It's still a lie because it what? It violates, it opposes, it goes against truth. And folks, anything that goes against truth is a what? Is a lie. Whether you intend it or whether you don't intend it, if it violates truth, it's a what? It's a lie. So we have a new category of lie. We have intentional lies, right? The ones I mean to tell, the ones I intend to tell, the ones I want to deceive, okay? Intentional lies. Now I have a second category, and it's called what? Unintentional lies. Okay? I didn't mean to lie. I wasn't intending to lie. But guess what? I lied. Okay? Let me give you an illustration of one. Broken promises. Okay? Broken promises. I give a promise 2 years ago. Okay? Now 2 years have passed, and guess what? There's been a lot of water under the bridge, hadn't there? And guess what I do? I violate my promise. Okay? But when I gave the promise, guess what I never intended? I never intended to break it. It wasn't my desire to break the promise. Okay? But I break the promise. Okay? It's an unintentional what? Lie. Everybody says, well, you told us way back here. I know, I told you that. And I didn't intend to lie to you back there. Okay? It was an unintentional lie. Okay? And there's other ones that we could talk about, and the other ones result from the third thing, knowledge. Notice this. The knowledge of the person revealing the information. In the religious world, certain individuals have not been given all the information they need on certain religious topics. You know that? And they go out and they talk to individuals about different subjects from a scriptural standpoint without what? Without all knowledge. Okay? They get just a little bit of knowledge. Whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. See there? That's how you're saved. And guess what? They're excited, aren't they? And they think they know exactly what you have to do in order to be saved. So they go to their neighbors, they go to their friends, they go to anybody they can talk to. You just need to call on the name of the Lord and be saved. And they mean by that what? The sinner's prayer, faith only, accept Jesus into your heart, right? Now, they're sincere. Guys, they're not intending to what? To lie, but they don't have what? They don't have all the truth. And because they don't have all the truth, their teaching goes against the truth. And so I refer to this category, it's an unintentional lie, but it's subtitled what? Lies of ignorance. Okay, lies of ignorance. That never happens on the news media, does it? Guys, lies of ignorance are told through the news media all the time. As soon as a story hits the ground, right? Guess what the news media does? They get on there and they tell us all this stuff. They got all the facts, right? And they stir up all the community. And then tomorrow morning we find out what? Well, I'll be dull. It was all a what? A lie. Okay, now sometimes we wonder, don't we, if those aren't intentional lies. They know they don't have all the facts. They know they don't have all knowledge, and they still go out and do it. But let's give them the benefit of the doubt, right? Let's assume that they don't have all the knowledge. They're not really intending to lie, but guess what? It turns out not to be the truth because they don't have what? They don't have all the facts. Okay? Now, folks, go ahead, Larry, before see what you're going to say, and then.
During the election of John Kennedy, who was a Catholic, there was a great furor that arose because in Catholicism there's a principle called mental reservation, which says that if you're not worthy to receive the truth, it's okay to lie to you. And so everybody was very concerned about a president who could exercise mental reservation and not tell the truth to the American people.
Boy, we don't worry about that anymore, do we? We don't worry about that, you know. We just all live on mental reservation now, you know. But that's interesting, isn't it? Folks, here's what happens in the church. You know, it's easy to throw this stuff out of the church, okay? Things go on in elders' meetings and decisions are made. They're given to the congregation, and then guess what the church does? They don't have all the facts, and they go around spreading L-I-E-S, lies. Okay? Without all the what? Without all the knowledge. Got to be careful. Okay? Oh, I know what went on in that meeting. Were you there? No, but I know. I've heard people say that kind of stuff. You know, how do you know? Because I'm a little God. You know, unbelievable. You know? So, 3 categories of lies. And guys, just to understand what I'm trying to get you to understand is, whether there is intent, makes no difference. If you pass on false information, that's a what? That's lie. It opposes truth. If I went on the knowledge that I have and my knowledge is faulty, it's still what? It's still a lie, isn't it? If it opposes truth. Wesley? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like you say, when you've just grown up with it, you know, it's tough, isn't it? Especially when truth hits you, it's hard to change that. Okay, and that we're going to get down to a little bit of that in the third section, maybe. Notice the second point, guys: types of lies. Okay, you can categorize lies. We've already thrown categories into lies into 3 big categories, right? But there's a lot of different kinds of lies that can be told. White lies. I love the commercial where Abe Lincoln, Abe is known as what? Honest Abe. Abe Lincoln can't lie, right? And there he is with his wife, and his wife's in a new dress. Does this new dress make me look fat? Now remember, we're dealing with who? Honest Abe. And he goes, I love it. You know, he doesn't want to tell her, you know, no, because that'd be a what? A lie. He doesn't want to hurt her feelings, so he just tells her, you're just a little fat in that dress. You don't even tell a woman that, do you? You're just a little fat, you know. Oh, man. Unbelievable. Notice that most of the time white lies are designed either to be tactful or to not hurt somebody's feelings. Okay? And what's that? No, they're not okay, but we use them all the time, don't we? I'll never forget a Christmas. My sister, she's a pistol now. I've told you we haven't seen my sister in 19 years. Hadn't heard from her or anything. But my sister, one Christmas, we used to draw names. And I open up my gift that I get from her, and guess what it is? 3 different kinds of screwdrivers. You can probably buy them at the dollar store for $1. Now what am I supposed to say? Whoa, this is the nicest gift I've ever gotten in my life. You're so considerate and sweet. You just spent so much money on me. Oh, thank you. You think that's what I felt? You think I felt an ounce of appreciation? Not 1 ounce. Okay? You guys spend $100 on her gift. She spends $1 at the Dollar Tree on your gift. And I don't even do screwdrivers, and she knows that. Now, what am I supposed to say? You know, we're getting to the gift-giving season, right? Somebody gives you a fruit cake. Yum! What you gonna say? Okay? Boy, so sometimes it's kind of tough. Notice the second point we've already talked about, broken promises. Okay? They oftentimes fall into unintended lies. Notice this next one, fabrications. Okay, fabrications. We don't like rumors, do we? Okay? Oh, people love rumors. Okay? Oh, yeah. During political seasons, rumors are wonderful, aren't they? And you just hear them all the time. All these little rumors. Okay? People just fabricate stuff. It's not based on any truth. It's not, you know, all you got to say is something like this. Well, it's been said. By whom? You don't have to tell by whom. No, you just have to say what? It's been said. And guess what? That's got to be the truth. If it's been said, whether it's been said by anybody or not. See, fabrications. Notice the next one. Bold-faced lies. Okay? Nobody's ever told one of those. That's the one we normally think of when we think of lying. Notice the next one, exaggeration. I love the definition of an exaggeration. Enhancing the truth by adding lies to it. There you go. That's the one that's common, right? Catch a fish? Yeah, this big. Right? Starts off, is really what? This big, but we like to what? Exaggerate just a little bit. Fish stories. And we can do that with anything, can't we? We can exaggerate stuff like crazy. Notice the next one, deception. Okay? And guys, sometimes deception and bold-faced lies, and intentionality, some of these can cross a lot of different lines, okay? But deception. Lies that cause others to be misled. A distortion of the facts, withholding of the facts. Notice that hypocrisy is what? An example of a lie. It's deception, isn't it? This is what I present to you. This is the way I am at home. It's different. Deception. See? So we can live a what? We can live a lie. Don't have to just speak one. We can live a lie. Notice the next one, plagiarism. Okay, plagiarism. You copy something that somebody else has written verbatim, and you don't give credit for that, and you act as if that's yours. Guys, that's a what? That's a lie. And they teach you at school, don't do that. Compulsive lying. Guys, there's some people, guess what? They just lie. And they don't care if they lie. And they've lied so much that guess what? Now their conscience doesn't hurt. They're never bothered. They just, little lie here, little lie there, little lie over there, little lie to this person, little lie to that person. And now you just become a what? Compulsive liar. As I was studying this, I was looking in the Scripture, and guys, guess what? There are some spiritual lies that we can accept. Shouldn't, but we can. And John talks about 4 of them in 1 John. Okay? And they're pretty potent. If we say we have no sin, we're a liar, the Bible says. Now watch this next one. If we say that we are in Christ, if we say that we know God and don't keep His commandments, guess what? We're a liar. Now that one right there is pretty potent. Okay? And man, what if you really got into some nitpicky application? Right? Bible command obey elders in the church. That's a stupid decision. I ain't going by that. It's a command of God. Do you know God? Oh yeah, I know God. I ain't going by that elder's decision though. Whoa, 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 whoa. You a liar then? You say you know God, but you won't keep His commandments, and one of those is what? Obey the elders. I ain't going to obey them, guys. They're goofballs. That's a stupid decision. Hey, guys, who left those men in charge? God did. You got a problem with that, you need to go talk to who? Go talk to God. God has the most stupid thing you ever decided. Be careful. Okay? Be careful. Notice the next one, he says, anybody who denies that Jesus is the Christ. That doesn't apply too much in our world. We think of atheists, agnostics, humanists, individuals who are really opposed God. But in the first century, there were individuals who claimed to be followers of God, but they denied that Jesus was deity. Okay? And they called themselves Christians. So that was a huge point back in the first century. And then notice this last one. If we say we love God and hate our brethren, guess what we be? Liars. Liars. So those are pretty big concepts. I just refer to that category of spiritual lying. Man, time just flies too fast. Notice point 3. Only got about 10 points. Why do people lie? Why do people lie? Oh, there's a bunch of reasons. Notice this. To avoid punishment. Isn't that one reason? Get a kid caught with his, in a lie. Guess what he doesn't want? Don't want a whooping. Oh, I'm sorry. We live in a PC society. Don't want time out. Okay? Used to be a what? A whooping. Okay? That's what it used to be. And your incentive for lying was even greater then, wasn't it? You know, I don't want to get a beating. Not me. So you just lie. Cain. He knew he killed his brother, right? Where is thy brother Abel? What were the 3 words he said? I know not. Bald-faced lie. Think he was scared of God's punishment? It's kind of scary, isn't it? Kind of scary. Notice the next one. To preserve a sense of autonomy. That's a weird one, isn't it? To preserve a sense of autonomy. When teenagers get to be teenagers, okay, maybe I should say when children get to be teenagers, what are they trying to do? What's one of the things they're trying to do? Huh? To belong, okay? And part of that belonging involves separating from who? Separating from mom and dad, okay? And guess how they do that sometime? Through lying, okay? I want my life. I want to be in charge of my life. And so I either withhold information from my parents, right? Where'd you go? Well, we went to the bowling alley for 15 minutes and then we went somewhere. But I don't tell you all that. Because I want my what? I want my independence. I want my autonomy. Okay? And so sometimes this desire to have autonomy, a sense of control of your life, causes individuals to lie. Notice the next one, aggression. We lie out of aggression. We do it to intentionally what? Hurt another person. Okay? And that's what transpired with the old prophet and the young prophet, wasn't it? You know, he lied to him, and man, I'm telling you, he hurt that man badly, didn't he? Through that lie. Another one, to obtain a sense of what? To obtain a sense of power, we lie. Notice this next one. The delight of putting one over on another. And I put out there Samson, since we just got out of the Samson study. You know, you think Samson found it fun to tease Delilah and put one over on the Philistines? You know, here he was, where's your power? Oh, if you tie me up with new ropes. And she does, and guess what? The Philistines are upon you. And he comes, he just whoops them all to death. He just kind of walks off just giggling. Look at there, got it on him, you know. Sometimes we just like to put it over on somebody, don't we? Okay, and very interesting. Notice this next one. Wish fulfillment, okay. One illustration they gave of wish, I'll give you one in the outline, and wish fulfillment. Here's a kid who, at the end of the school year, he tells all his family members, all his school people that what? I'm going to Disney World this summer. Okay? Come back to school in September and they all ask you, how was Disney World? Guess what he says? It was wonderful. Man, we had a great time. Now, he wished that he was going to Disney World, right? And he knows that had he gone to Disney World, he would have had a great time. And so, it's not too big of a deal just to kind of what? Lie so that you fulfill the wish. Okay? You know, don't we all love to have something spectacular happen in our lives so that we can kind of brag about it? You know? And then the spectacular never comes, but guess what? Everybody gets the story. You know? It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Notice the next one. Self-deception. The Bible often warns us, be not deceived. Why does it tell us that? Because we can what? Deceive ourselves. You know? Be not deceived. Whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good morals. Be not deceived, because you can deceive yourself. I can live with these people. I can work with these people. I can play with these people. I can have all this fellowship with all these evil people, and it's never going to hurt me. Be not what? Be not deceived. You see, you can deceive your own self, right? Sometimes we deceive ourselves into thinking that God doesn't really mean what He says. You think so? Especially if it involves a friend or a family member or something like, oh, yeah, that's what God says, but I know God. You know, grace, love, goodness, kind, you know, it's okay. Even though God says something totally different. Okay? We deceive ourselves. And that's easy to do. Notice to manipulate the behavior of others. How about this one? To help others. Okay? To help others. A man, and this was a toughie, okay? This man came up on a wreck, okay? And he knew all the people in the car, and one of them was a kid, okay? And the person who died was a friend who lived right next door, okay? Well, he goes, and the friends are out, you know, the wreck's happened close, and they know something, and they ask him, you know what's happened in that wreck? Guess what? He knew. He knew. What do you say? What do you say? Yeah, I've been down there. Your kid's dead. Is that what you say? You know, he just told them, you know, well, I know there was a wreck and people were hurt, and you know that's about all I know to keep from hurting what? Hurting feelings. Okay, and he thought that was perfectly fine. Okay, so sometimes, you know, we get put in those situations, don't we? How about this? To accommodate another's self-deception. Right? Folks, don't ever do that to preachers, please. Preacher thinks he's great. Don't go tell him he is. Because we ain't. Okay? But you know, you get a preacher who thinks he's great, and then everybody tells him he's what? He's great. Does that make it bad? It encourages him in his what? In his self-deception. Don't do that, you know. If a person doesn't do a good job, you know what we do in society today? We still tell them they did a good job, right? There are no losers anymore. Everybody gets the what? The prize, the trophy. Everybody wins because nobody is bad. Nobody is able to underperform. Okay? I was at a camp one time. They were having some kind of a little talent show, and they came up with, like, I think there was 12 different groups that were going to perform or something like that, and they came up with 12 different prizes. I said, you got to be kidding me. Guys, pick first, second, or third, and have 9 losers, and next time maybe they'll be gooder. You know it? If they all get a prize, there's no incentive to do what? To be better, to win, to challenge themselves. Oh, but we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Unbelievable. Notice this next one. We lie as a solution to role conflict. Okay? Ever get in a job where you're asked to do certain things and you know that you don't need to do that? Okay? And so guys, either you do the wrong thing, right? Or you lie to your boss and make him think that you did the thing that he wanted you to do. You see? And we can get put in those kind of situations, can't we? And it makes it very difficult. So a solution to role conflict. Maintain self-esteem. Okay? We've got low self-esteem. We want to feel good about ourselves, so guess what we do? We lie about ourselves, right? So we can lift our self-esteem up and make us feel good. How about this one? Create a sense of identity. Okay? Create a sense of identity. In other words, we make ourselves look like something that we're really what? We're really not. Okay? I want everybody to think that I'm smart. So I use big words, I throw out some quotes, and, you know, just astound people. And you know what? I'm not really what? That's smart. Okay? Anybody who's taken the How to Study the Bible class knows that preachers, me included, aren't that smart. We just know where to what? We just know where to go to get it. And then I tell you, and then you're disappointed because you used to think I was smart. Okay? And knowing where to get the information? Yeah, but once I tell you, guess what? Now you're on my level and I'm just an idiot again. And then the last one, guys, to get something, okay? Take, for instance, we lie about a product to get a sale, right? Anything wrong with this car? Oh, no, nothing wrong with this car. And you know better. But he's the first and only dude offered you $10,000 for your car. Right? Go for it. Mm-hmm.
And you can mislead the decision maker into this person lie.
Sure.
And say things about you before they know about you.
Yeah. And see, that's that desire for power. I want the position, and I'll lie about them. I'll lie about myself.
Elevate yourself.
Absolutely. Oh, man. Unbelievable. Real quickly, number 4, guys, the Bible forbids lying. Okay? And there's several passages of Scripture, Old and New Testament. You shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another. Lying lips are an abomination unto the Lord. Wherefore put away lying. Speak every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. Colossians 3:9. Lie not one to another, seeing ye have put off the old man with his deeds. As God says, don't what? Don't lie. Okay? Don't lie. Man, you know what I'm going to have to do, don't you? I'm going to have to continue this lesson next week. How about that? I hate not to just go through it, because now we're into Bible stuff, okay? And this is where it really gets good, okay? So we'll continue it next week. Don't lie to anybody over the week, though, just because we ain't finished this lesson.